All right, what's up, peoples? You might think I'm at a local market, but you'd be mistaken. Today's video, I'm at one of the world's most famous archaeological sites in Mexico, Chichen Itza. So in this video, I'm going to talk about Chichen Itza, some of the history of it, point out some of the rude people, also some of the vendors that are lying and scamming, so stay tuned. It's like a whole market all the way in. It's crazy, and it's well overpriced, but I should point out that when I get out of here. But check this out. Wow, crazy. I'm pretty sure all of you have seen that video on YouTube that the lady climbed up and then got, castrated as she came down. Wow, look at this. Prohibited drones. No drones, people. Only watch me rob. This right here was built somewhere between 650 and 1200 AD. That's mad, right? And it says also something about there's proof of evidence of actual them being here 2,000 years ago. Crazy. This Mayan ruins, well, this Castillo? I have to look that up. Anyway, this one here is over 50 feet wide in any section, right? And it's over 80 feet tall, not including the top up there. It's crazy, right? Oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for. Whoa, what the freak? That thing just crawled out from under my feet. Is that supposed to be a lizard or a snake at the bottom? Wow. This is really cool. So there's an echo in here. You hear the people clapping over there and it's echoing all the way around the whole complex. Huh. Wonder if they designed it that way that they could signal somebody on the other side of the compound, like, yo, enemies are coming. Oh, wind's blowing. Let's see if I can make some noise. Everybody's like clapping. Woo! I like it. Oh, somebody's taking pictures over there. Gotta give everybody their minute, you know what I mean? Check it out, man. I hope the wind doesn't ruin this right now. Check it out, yeah? God, this is crazy. God, this wind is gonna be crucial in this video right now. Gotta be quiet not to disturb everybody. Dope. Let's get a closer view, shall we? Look at this. That's crazy. All right, I just got some good intel. Like I said, my Spanish is this much, so if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. But check this out. This hole right here that looks kind of like a moat, right? Apparently this was here before this structure was ever here. This was more of like the base of it. So base of operations where they started to begin this massive structure here. Isn't that crazy? They believe that there is more structure beneath this. Kind of like many other archaeological places. If they do a LiDAR scan, they'll see that there's like loads of structures beneath the earth. That's crazy. Just look right here how the wall just lines up right there. See the angle on it. They knew that there was going to be, they were making it for a giant structure. So instead of building the wall straight up like that, they built it at an incline this way, which is kind of cool. It's also very similar to how they did it in Peru. I don't know about here, but over there that was more for earthquakes, because if the walls were straight, when the earthquake would happen, it would tumble or fall. But when they angled them like that, then it gives the block more stability. Kind of cool. We'll check it out. We got a Instagram model. Hey, what's up? Follow me. Watch me rob YouTube. I'm awesome. Oh man, this is cool. All right, so I just looked it up, and I guess not too far long ago they did do some kind of a scan here and found out that there was actually like another pyramid like buried between some of these structures, all underneath where we're standing right now. How freaking cool is that, right? And the evidence that they've seen, it looks like this right here was originally just a staircasing and then the altar. Isn't that bizarre? All right, let's check out these crazy looking cylinder objects over here. Of course, you can't go without having full-blown market. That's kind of weird at an archaeological site, but let me rephrase that. An overpriced market. Check these out. This is crazy. Where's the signs? What are these for? I don't want a guide. I just want to be able to read and be like, wow, that's cool. This is for this. 4 rows back, evenly spaced. Look, evenly spaced all along this line here. This is crazy. I wonder what this was here for. Why did they have these? Why are they all the same heights? And how did they make them perfectly cylindrical like this, huh? Somebody here can tell me how. Aliens? 50-50. All right, so there's all those cylinders. I just walked from all the way down there. It keeps going. I don't know what's behind it yet, but here's another cool ass temple. I caught some other hints of Spanish talking about some kind of warrior temple. So that's cool. That is dope. And they got like markings all over both sides. Really unique. This is so cool. Man, I just can't get over this. Look at that thing. Massive. And we're literally in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there was nothing around here. I mean, other than cenotes. So there's a bunch of those all around this area. But this is literally in the middle of nowhere. Like, there's nothingness. All right, here's some cool info about this place. So I did give a nice look at that sign. This is a warrior temple, which is super dope. All right, so on the inside of this temple, there's actually murals that are depicting like sacrifices and soldiers, right? That's crazy. And then on the outside here, all these columns and pillars here, right? Every single one of them depicts basically a name, a title, a rank, any kind of attributes you might have, or even, I guess, personal things about you. So each one of them is like some kind of a soldier, somebody that was, you know, I guess a part of all of this at one time. So that's crazy, right? It's like each one of these is a different person with a different rank and a different attribute, things about them, family, who knows what else. It's crazy. Awesome. It's crazy that the plaques that they have here, I mean, I'm happy that they have plaques so you can get a little general idea about what it is, but it doesn't give you too much in-depth information. Oh, cool. Look at this. Look at up the top again. That's crazy. And there's more of those pillars on the backside. But these ones are cylindrical and all those ones are square up there. Inside the building we can see there's another temple buried from a previous time was based the current building. That's freaking cool. So in this inside or underneath this temple is another temple that was buried and then built this back on top of it. That's awesome. I wish this wasn't all blocked off so you could actually at least touch it, you know? You guys are gonna love this. Here's some more signs for dummies. Check it out. They look at the sign, they're like, that means I should climb all up on top of this and see what it's about. I gotta say that for most of the archaeological sites that I've been to, this one has got to be one of the cleanest compounds. Like, they really do a good job keeping it clean. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's guys in these little markets over here. And they put their hands together and they're like, oh, and then it echoes through the compound, so it's hard to like designate where the sound's actually coming from. It's super unique, super cool with this area. On the other side again. All right, I wonder how hard it would be to get an invitation to come back here, to be able to walk up these temples, other ones back behind me over here, and actually be able to like touch this. You know, it's like cool enough to know that this was occupied at one time, but just being able to like lean against it, you know, and just touch it. It's like, wow, I'm here when other people, you know, have been here like long time ago. It's like super fucking cool. But I won't be one of those dummies that writes on it or leaves my trash behind. Check out these rows. Look at this. Just rows this way and that way. Rows and rows and rows of them. Now we get to see what's back here. Look at this wall. This wall is almost completely stripping down. Wow, look at this. Look, here's another wall like this where it's like at an angle. I can only just imagine they built that so that when they started building up more and more structures. Maybe their plan was not to stop here. Maybe it was to build even more over here. Wow, look at this. Look at all the columns everywhere. Wow, cool. I just saw a picture that it had all these columns like this, but then the columns had actually roof on them, on top of them, like it was indoors. So I wonder if that was what it was at one time, was there was a roof across all of these. I don't know, because there's not much information here to read about. I got another one over here. So awesome. Don't film me now, GoPro. Don't overheat and take all my footage from me. Oh man, super dope. Alright, got some cool intel for you. So you see this right here, it doesn't look like much, right? But what's crazy is that, remember I was saying in the beginning, like there's a lot of cenotes all over this region, right? But there's no like rivers or streams of any kind. So I was kind of wondering, like, where did they get all their water from cenotes? So what's cool is basically there are streams and caves and caverns that are underground, running all through this whole area. And when one would collapse, basically that causes that makes a cenote, right? But one would collapse, like this small thing right here, which would have been a well. So when it would collapse, they would utilize that and then basically, you know, lower in canisters or whatever and, you know, pull out the water. So they had clean drinking water. That's pretty cool. You can definitely tell I haven't been talking to the camera in a while. It's like I'm talking and then all of a sudden my brain goes, what was going on? What are we doing? Look at this. This is so badass. How cool would this have been? Like, just picture it in your head. Like, over there in front, there's like warriors walking around in all kinds of warrior dress. And then, I don't know, maybe over here you'd have, you know, women doing stuff. And then you have the kids playing over there. And then you got this giant temple on the backside, you know, and they're sacrificing the bad people. I wonder if it's like at some of the other places where they do sacrifices, or they did, is that the people that were sacrificed, in some places people were sacrificed because of different reasons, but in a lot of cultures it was like an honor to sacrifice yourself, you know, for the many gods that every one of these different places worshipped. Cool. So that sign just said that some of these structures, I don't know about all of them, but a lot of these columns here, like inside of this, there'll be the column supporting a ceiling, and then there'll be rooms on top of that. Well, look how many there are. They're all over the place. But if that is the case, where's the roof? Where did it go? Right? I mean, when they were excavating or cleaning this up, oh wow, look what we found. It's like, was that still there? Right? Like, where's the pictures of what I want to see? The excavation pictures and see what was it like when you first got here, right? I saw one picture of the major temple, the big one that everybody recognizes, and I mean, there was just jungle, like all these trees and vines and shit just growing all over it. God, how awesome would that be, to be the person that came across that? That's freaking nuts. Ooh, I just spotted some guy. Check this out. He's right over here. There's one over there. See how fast he runs. I'm not spooking him, just walking up on him. But they're used to people walking around. Look, he blends right in. Look at him. You can't even hardly see that dude right there. Look, this one over here, he's watching me. He's watching me. That's crazy. Oh shoot, there's another one over here. Can you believe this place? It's just one after another after another. I mean, 10 square kilometers, it's pretty decent size. So, and I'm probably sure, I mean, a lot of this is like roped off, chained off, or gated off. So who knows, like, how far it goes back that way. And also what's not discovered yet. It's like, you know, you might have something, you know, 10 miles away that still was built at the same time this was, and just nobody's found it yet. I mean, like I said, I'm in the middle of nothing. It is kind of odd that the market is inside. I mean, I understand outside, there's always people kind of selling you all kinds of overpriced crap and knickknacks. But actually inside, it's a little bit odd. Whoa, check it out. Look at this. This is crazy. Look, it's like I said, more and more of those columns just spaced out evenly all across it. Look, I mean, every single one of them is identical in the amount of space in between each one of them. And if this is the same as the other one, then on top of each one of these pilings or pylons or cylinder structures, there'll be a roof that caps on top of that. And then they build it on top of that one as well. Look at these, man. Look, they're just everywhere. Look at them. God. I wonder how many of these are actually out here. All these cylindrical piles of rock. Just from what I've seen so far, there's hundreds. This is crazy. And look at the stones. Like, how? How did you cut all these stones? I mean, how long did it take to make this cylindrical stone? Look at that. That's crazy. If you're new to the channel, I'm not a history aficionado, so I don't know all the deets. I'll let you do all that research. I'll just show you what I see, what I can imagine that it was like here, and how cool it was, and how untouched everything was. I think that's what makes it probably the coolest part, to imagine all of this with the people actually here and nothing else was around. Huh. Super dope, man. Super dope. It's like, how cool would that be? Like, you just riding your motorcycle down the road, and then you show up and there's this motorcycle bar there, right? And there's nobody around. You're like, yeah, this is cool. I'm the first one here. You know, or I don't know. It's just my thoughts rambling. Check these out. This is cool here. What? Hola. That's cool. I like that.
You like this one?
I like this. Whoa, cool. Check that out.
Many people buy.
What is this?
It's a bone.
Bone?
Yes.
Ah. What
Bullhorn.
animal?
Bullhorn.
Bullhorn?
Yes.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Which one do you like more? I make it there for you.
I don't know. This is cool, but that's cool made out of bone like that.
Who's gonna
Yeah, that's cool. Gracias. That's cool. I really like that one. You know, there's some super cool stuff that you can find, but generally if you go to a local market, you'll be able to find something just like that or almost the same for a fraction of the cost. I wouldn't mind having that one on my wall right there. That's dope. Wow, that's cool. Little peace pipe. I wonder if they partaked in peace pipe. Okay, thank you. All right, that's it for the market until I get out the end. I'll show you the front when I get to it, but it was a madhouse, man. There was just 1,000 people in like a giant line just crowded trying to move in there like a herd. All right, check this out. You tell me what you see first. I'll start back here and I'll kind of slowly zoom in. So if you're looking at these, what does it look like first that's happening? There's your glare. You know what I thought it was first. Look at that, man. And look at the steps again, right? I keep saying this over and over, but at all the places around the world that I've been to where there's giant pyramids or, you know, structures all over top of the mountain, all of the steps are massive. And I'm a decently sized guy. So if I gotta put my knee up to my chest to get up the steps, I can only imagine what all the, well, shorter people were doing. Like they practically had to climb. What are all the dudes going up this thing, you know, 7'5"? I don't know. Wow. Okay. I managed to get freaking another water. Damn. I'm two waters and a Gatorade down. It is fucking hot, boy. Up at the top, and then on the other side of this, at the bottom, it appeared to be like snake mouths coming out of the bottom, but I couldn't tell if it was like iguanas or snake mouths because there's tons of iguanas running around here. But no, they're snakes. And something really cool, odd but cool, is on the other side over here. I'll show you in a second. There's like this flat top area. It's kind of another one of these structures like this one here, but it has a flat top on it. So if you zoom in or you get into it, there's like carvings on the wall. Kind of hard to see at the moment. It's just very, very flat on top all the way across, right? Let me get closer. All right, guys, before I show you that flat structure over there, I'm gonna point out the snake heads I was talking about. I saw them earlier, but these are the snake's head right there. I'll zoom in a little bit on that side right there. But what's super dope is certain times of the year, the shadows appear because of the form and the way the structure comes down with the stairs. When the shadows happen like that and it comes down, it looks like the snake is actually slithering down the side of the structure. And that's because only certain times of the year it does. And they built it that way specifically. Huh, that's kind of cool. Now, if you have anything different to add to that, please go ahead and put it in the comments, because like I said, Spanish is not my first language, so I'm getting bits and pieces. All right, made it. See the snake's head? And look, see the carvings on there? It's hard to tell what it is. Look at that. That's crazy. If you can't read and you're a dummy, that must mean put your hand out and touch everything you see. Look at the size of these steps. Look, to give you an idea, right? There's my hand, right? And they're way bigger than that. I got a big hand. I got a big, yeah, okay. Look at this wall over here, right? With all the skulls on it. You know, did this represent all the people that passed? That's crazy. I'm not too sure if I was right about this flat plateau here actually depicting aliens or whatnot, but it very well may. This is the corner of that flat structure right here. I'll zoom in so you can see. Basically, there's a dude sitting here and he's holding some kind of a weapon, which is not of Mayan descent. Oops. Which makes, excuse me, which makes archaeologists think that it's a depiction of them holding some kind of alien firepower, which is kind of cool. But nobody knows for sure. How dope is that? That at one time, maybe they were here and there were some aliens and they're like, yo, here's a bazooka, enjoy. That's cool, man. All right, one more peek at this before I get up out of here. This is crazy. It's massive, man. Awesome. Just awesome. In a lot of places around the world, it appears that it just vanished into thin air, like it was a full-blown society and everything was succeeding, and then just overnight gone. However, this one, it's really unclear. Some text you can find that shows or says that they just vanished overnight and it was taken over by the jungle. But then other texts will tell you that sometime around the 1400s, it was just abandoned, even though they stayed in areas around here. But it's really unclear as to what or why, or exactly pinpointing when too. So that's kind of cool. All right, let's go see this shitty market and all the rude people walking around. Look at this, dude. That's cool. All right, so as we make our way out of here, we get to see who decides that they own the street. So when we came in here, this whole area was just packed full of people. Almost free, I like that. I love happy hour. Oh, look, they all want me. All right, look at this. It's like a zoo, man. Look, the herds have made it here. Look at them. This is only a small portion of the people that I saw when I came in this place. Look at all the people. They might tell you to come early, avoid the crowds. Come late at night, avoid the crowds. In this place, there's always crowds. A lot of cool shit here. Check out that Jaguar. When you're walking around in here, it's like the whole family will just stop. Like here's the walkway and they all stop. But instead of like kind of sliding over, they just form a line around there like they're the only fucking people here. This is all the signs for idiots right here, right? Don't read any of this. This one's telling you to put all your trash on the ground. That's one telling you to start a fire. Definitely put shit in your bag, right? Eat and drink all you want. Throw everything all over the place. I'm pretty sure that's what people see when they come here. All right, I'm outie. Look at this super nice place, but way overpriced. Every one of these little shops here are overpriced. But look, it's like Disneyland out here. It's ridiculous. I did want to point out that they do have lockers to store your shit other than just overpriced food. The lockers were not that bad. It's like $3 for small locker, $6 for a big locker. Hello. All right, when you give them the key back at the locker, well, when you go to get the key, they take your ID, like whatever ID you have, not your passport, just any ID, and they keep it until you return the key for their 50-cent lock. Oh, and then this is where you come in and you pay. You got to go to window 1 and pay a fee, and then after that they're like, okay, go to window 2. So you're like, oh, okay, you go to window 2, and then they make you pay a fee there too. And since I'm a foreigner and I'm white, I got white privilege today, so I had to pay extra. Check out this unrealistic mannequin. Think I look good in that? All right, so I'm about to get out of here. I opted for a bus from Merida on the 80 train, and it was, I don't know, roughly $20. It's like 2.5 hours. No, it was less than that. I think it was like $10. So they took you all the way from Merida straight to Chichen Itza. They got lockers here so I could pack my bags up in there, do my thing here, and then I'm off to my hotel, which is in Bastay, which is, I don't know, 2 kilometers away. It's real close. I'm gonna get a taxi over there. But I did want to mention that there's a stand out here when you arrive at the bus station. Being that it's outside of all of this, right? I figured, oh good, I might well get a water or something here. Might be cheaper. I asked the dude running it, I was like, how much is a water? How much is your Gatorade? Like, is it more inside? And he's like, oh yeah, way more. Like, and he, like, we were even talking like this, like, you know, because my Spanish is like this. But anyway, either way, it was very clear that it was way more overpriced inside. This dude charged me 80 pesos for a water, right? Which I was like, damn, that's pretty pricey. And he said the inside was more expensive. Well, when I went inside, I got a water for 30, right? And then the Gatorade outside was 50, which I bought both from this guy. Inside I bought a Gatorade and it was only 35. So when you come here, don't trust that guy, okay? Go inside. There's many vendors out there. You'll find one at a good price that are being fair for where they're at. All right, that's it. I think I'm out of here. Give you a shot of all the buses while I walk down to wherever my cab's gonna meet me. All right, there you go. That's it. I'm out.